Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Putri Noliana Amira binti Jamaluddin. My matrix number is A23A2694. Today I will talk about psychologist bias in decision making. A brief explanation of the approach. Psychological bias lead to poor decision making and missed opportunities. A psychological bias, also known as cognitive bias, are mental shortcuts that we take to make decisions or take actions. We tend to behave in an illogical way as this bias distorts our way of thinking. For example, you might subconsciously make selective use of data, or you might feel pressure to make decisions by powerful workers. Viewpoint about the approach in today's context. The first one is integration of behavioral science and management. It is crucial for organizational decision makers to comprehend social dynamics, cognitive bias, and human behavior. This strategy is very applicable in the modern world, since more and more businesses understand how important behavioral insights to make a better decision making. The second one is awareness and mitigation of biases. In today's complicated business world, when quick decision making is critical, understanding and resolving bias like confirmation bias, ensuring or groupthink is essential for making more productive and logical decisions. The third one is application of research finding. In order to streamline decision-making process and improve overall performance, companies are increasingly likely to implement evidence-based procedures that come from behavioral research. The fourth one is cultural and global perspective. Psychological bias in decision-making is becoming more and more crucial to comprehend cross-cultural psychology and how it affects decision-making in a variety of work settings in the connected global economy. Related example. A psychologist is hired by a corporate consulting firm to help with a restructuring plan that aims to increase worker productivity because of their personal training and positive experience, which the Myers-Briggs type indicator MBTI. The psychologist has a bias towards specific personality tests. There's a lot of influence of biased decision making. For example, personality assessment, decision on job assignment, training and development program, and lastly, recruitment and hiring decision. There's a lot of advantage and disadvantage that I get from psychological bias in decision making. The advantage that I get is enhanced understanding of human behavior. When it gets used effectively, psychological bias can enhance our comprehension of how people behave in work environment. The second one is improved communication and collaboration, which we can improve worker teamwork in an organization. This may help with an efficient problem solving and decision making. The third one is enriched decision making process. Within the dynamic administration system, a more thorough and innovative approach to decision making may result from this wider viewpoint. The fourth one is enhanced problem solving capabilities. By encourage decision makers to consider their assumption and opinion, this may result in a broader approach to problem solving in dynamic administrating setting. Which they can make a better decision for for the company. The fifth one is increase empathy and understanding. Acknowledging one perspective promotes empathy and respect for other viewpoints and personal characteristics. And lastly, a better adaptation to change. Organizations able to adjust to changing conditions when bias are acknowledged. And lastly, there is also a lot of disadvantage that I get from psychological bias in decision making. For example, confirmation bias. People often ignore the fact that opposite from their viewpoint in favor of information that support their own idea. The second one is over-reliance on subjectivity. Making poor decisions can result from relying too much on one's own impression. The third one is influence on personal experience. This impact may prevent one individual from trying new methods or giving an idea to others. The fourth one is inaccurate prediction and generalization. From bias, the result is decision makers may make inappropriate choice as a result of their development. The fifth one is groupthink. This can encourage originality and a range of viewpoints. And lastly, ethical consideration. It may become ethically problematic due to certain biases. Conclusion. This book emphasizes the major impact of psychological bias on decision-making process within organizational setting based on the general understanding of how psychology influences decision-making, especially with the organizational context. We can see that there's a lot of advantage and disadvantage that we can get from a psychologist's bias in decision-making. We also can learn a lot of how to improve the work, and we can know how to settle about psychological bias in decision making. Thank you. That's all from me.